So I'm sure many of you know already that as of yesterday, it's been announced that Sting will be retiring from the WWE and from wrestling in general due to a spinal injury that resembled Edge's retirement back in 2011. Was it? It's hard to keep track of these dates. Like Sting's run in WWE. Let's be honest, it started out great and really kind of tankered afterwards because Sting, everyone assumed Sting was going to go over Triple H at WrestleMania 31. I had some mixed results about that. Like, I was expecting, oh, well, Sting's obviously going to win in his debut in WWE, but they did put a stipulation where the Authority would have to disband. That would have been, if that scenario was put in, then Sting most likely would have won. And like Sting said, oh, I wanted to put Triple H over. I was planning to retire after that, but then I got this call to do the match with Seth Rollins. And like a lot of people will say, oh, Vince McMahon's just telling him to say that because if he told what the truth was, like saying, oh, he just wanted to stick it to WCW even though he won the war. And part of me thinks that's kind of had to do a little bit with that since Vince at this age is senile and gone mad with power. Like, he suspends somebody for an act of chivalry. He fires somebody because they call the audience pricks, even though no one took offense to that because he's a heel. So obviously, and they would occasionally say, bitch, ass, stupid, you suck, and whatnot. And, like, that's not really surprising. And so, like, calling the audience cocky pricks, that doesn't really offend anybody because, oh, it's a heel, it's obvious. But I'm getting off track here. Sorry about that. But, and Sting had two matches on Raw, one against the Big Show. Yeah, kind of showing what WWE really thinks of their idea of, hey, let's have Sting on Raw. Then have a tag team match against Big Show and Seth Rollins with John Cena. Great. He's great. Just fucking great. He's partnering up with a guy that everybody hates. And also is going to leech off his popularity for a bit. Way to fucking go. Though luckily Sting won those matches. One was by disqualification and the other one was by submission. So at least he had some sort of victory, albeit very stupid booking. And then he came his big match with Seth Rollins for the WWE title. WWE has come out and has admitted in a report, WWE has reportedly admitted that, yeah, we asked too much for Sting on that night. Months ago, like about 3 months after his match with Seth Rollins, where Sting had to go through a table and then he got a turnbuckle powerbomb by Seth Rollins, and that's when the injury happened. And now a lot of people are left with a handful of what ifs, like, oh, what if he came to WWE early? What if he never went to TNA? Oh, what if he not got injured? Oh, what if he went with the Undertaker match? Okay, if he never went to WWE, if he had went to WWE earlier, no one knows what would have happened. Like, at that time, rumors were going around that Vince and several of the top guys from WWF, as I like to say it, since that's what it was back then when Sting was offered, were treating all the WCW guys like crap because, oh, you tried to ruin us, so we're going to ruin you. And I'm pretty sure Sting had his reasons not to go. Like, the other one was he didn't want to do a 300-day plus 300-day work or wanted a live schedule because he had just got off of a huge schedule with WCW and also the creative mishandlings. And he didn't want to start at the bottom of the barrel again just to climb up to the top. And that was a shame because I really would have loved to see Sting fight The Rock, fight Stone Cold, fight Shawn Michaels when he had returned in 2003. Man, that would have, 2002. Man, that would have been awesome. And now no one knows what would have happened. Like, a lot of people assumed he would have been treated like Dusty Rhodes was treated, forced to do a mid-car act and not be really a main eventer when he was a main eventer. Hard to really say. Now, a lot of people were speculating, oh, what if he had not gotten injured? Actually, I already know what the answer is. reports have it that the original plan, had Sting not gotten hurt, was to have a match with Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. And since Sting has been putting guys over, Seth Rollins being his last opponent, he would have most likely put over Bray Wyatt and given him his first WrestleMania victory. And I would have said, oh, thank God. Like, I know Sting lost again, but thank God Bray Wyatt finally got put over at WrestleMania. And so creatively, it's a disaster. Like, now let's look at this from the business side of things. Creatively, it's a disaster since they had such money-making potential with Sting, despite his age. And now the best thing he can do now is just be a on-air authority figure, though the authority's still around. So until that's over with, most likely at WrestleMania this year, that Sting really doesn't have anything to do other than get inducted into the Hall of Fame, which he is by Ric Flair. And also, there is just one small problem I fear. This is a big one. It's mostly regarding what's going to happen to Seth Rollins when he comes back. Like, a lot of people have speculated for months and months and months that Seth Rollins would be treated with open arms from the WWE audience. But with this recent development, this is just speculation. And this is also possibly a good booking idea to have Seth Rollins come back as a heel and be the guy who says, yeah, I retired Sting. Because in a way, Seth kind of did that when he was told, hey, can you turnbuckle powerbomb Sting, even though his neck was probably fragile? Yeah, okay. So I get the feeling Seth may never get cheered again, because who's going to cheer for a guy who and let's be honest, a lot of people are going to blame Seth for this. Thinking, oh, you should have been more careful. You should have been more careful with a guy his age. Like, you should have been more careful with all that. Like, they're going to treat him like he was being treated like Roman Reigns is getting treated. Something beyond his control. And they're going to blame him for that. They're not going to blame the company because they thought the company could do no wrong, pretty much. And they're going to blame Roman Reigns, and they're going to blame Seth Rollins. And I wouldn't be surprised if some idiot fan went ahead and blamed Roman Reigns for what happened to Sting, because they need to find something to bitch about to Roman Reigns and have Roman Reigns respond to it on Twitter. So, yeah. Sting, Seth Rollins comes out with a I retired Sting shirt. I wouldn't be surprised if WWE went with that direction. And considering such heat that he could get, I certainly think they should take the risk and go for it. Like, everyone thinks on the internet that, oh, Seth Rollins is going to be welcomed back with open arms and he's going to be cheered. But now, with this recent development, now it's uncertain if he's going to be cheered or not. So those are my thoughts on Sting's retirement. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for more. And thank you, Sting, for the memories.